Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos of the paid request for Ash. And I need a drink because this is without a doubt the worst Derry Daniels film I have ever seen in my life. And yes, that includes Retrograde. Retrograde, I still maintain, is maybe the worst, or one of the worst Dolph Lundgren films I've seen. Derry Daniels was in that. I'd rather watch that than this movie. I hated this movie. I hated this movie. I hated this movie. I hated this movie. This movie sucks. And Derry Daniels I like. I liked him in Riot. That's my favorite of his. The first Expendables. I don't mind films like Blood Moon. Cold Harvest was fun. City Hunter, he played a bad guy fighting Jackie Chan. That was fun. But, and then the director, Jeff Burr, may he rest in peace. I don't mind Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 for what it is. He did Stepfather 2. Puppet Master 4 and 5, I don't mind for what they are. Rest in peace to him. He did a Scarecrow movie. I remember not hating. It was like Night of the Scarecrow or something. I remember not minding that film. This is the worst film I've seen Jeff Burr direct. This is the worst film I've seen Derry Daniels be in. Spoiler from 1998. And by the way, thank you, Ash, for the paid request. For anyone that wants to request anything, PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below, or over there, or where the hell is that? People like me punching stuff. I wish it was the movie. Here, it'll break the tape. Hope it doesn't have a DVD. It don't deserve DVD. It don't deserve Laserdisc. It doesn't deserve my dick in its mouth. Because it's probably too stupid and think it was a lollipop and try to bite it. To try to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop. How many licks does it take? I don't know, how many fists does it take to make you a bloody pulp movie? Eat my butthole up the Hershey Highway. So Derry Daniels. And by the way, I read up some info about the film. Apparently, number one, Derry was not the first choice for this. In fact, he came in last minute. He was cast last minute. I don't know who Jeff Burr wanted before, but I guess maybe they couldn't find a star, or maybe they had an actor and he fell out. But Derry Daniels was cast last minute. It was shot for $500,000, so $500,000. Shot in 18 days, mostly in a warehouse in Burbank. Apparently, after shooting the film, Jeff Burr was removed. Somehow the producer had wanted to direct the film, but he couldn't. So now that the shoot was over, Jeff Burr was kicked off, and then the producer went in and directed the film in post. So the cut we see of the film is not Jeff Burr's cut, although I don't think any of that would matter because the story, what they're going with, is such a nihilistic, depressing story. You kind of sit there and go, what is this trying to say, and what is the point of the film? Life sucks and then you die? Well, okay, that could be true, but I already know that. Thank you, movie. I don't really like to go into stories unless I could watch Requiem for a Dream for that. But Requiem for a Dream is more uplifting than this movie. And I'm not even kidding. When you see the cover of the film, which that cover has nothing to do with this movie. It's kind of a goofy looking cover, but it makes it seem like a horror movie. And what was it? He blasted out of prison. Well, not really. I mean, I guess technically he does escape, but he also gets caught a lot. And also it's Derry Daniels. You go Derry Daniels for action. There's no action in the movie. He does like one or two little fights, which he doesn't use his martial arts, and they're clumsily edited. It's boring as hell. Here's the story. He gets caught, he goes to jail, he escapes, then he gets caught and goes to jail, then he escapes, he gets caught and goes to jail, he escapes, he gets caught, he goes to jail, he escapes, he sees his daughter, now, she was 10, now she's 70, because we have this trial prison stuff, and then she dies, he runs, he dies, the movie's over. There you go. I just saved you 90 minutes. That's literally the movie. Nothing else happens. There's a lame, continuous loop. It's supposed to be this deep, dark, whatever the hell he's going for. You can tell, I mean, from the opening, which is maybe this is where the producer messed around with the post-production, it's so it's erratic editing in the credits. Does he credit and then people are talking over each other? I think one's like Brian Genesee and then Jerry Daniels, and it's like one's a bounty hunter and hey, are you this guy and you may be this guy, and there's a spoiler. A spoiler is a guy who has escaped prison, a fugitive, and it's like credit and then talking credit. It just seemed like very erratic editing. He just chased. Jerry Daniels is on like a subway system with really bad green screen, whatever the hell it is, where it's clearly not him in a tunnel and clearly not a subway train, you know, behind him. He gets out of the way, just a really bad composite, or whatever the hell it was. You get a clumsy fight. That at times the camera's shaking. Doesn't show Jerry Daniels' moves, because you did a martial artist. Sure, don't show him any moves. And hey, Jerry Daniels, I'm sorry, he's not that great of an actor. At least not in this movie. He's not a great actor, Jerry Daniels. Here's the thing. He's fine in films like Riot and Blood Moon, where he's more than serviceable throughout the movie, and then you just see him find kick ass, and he's being a badass, or maybe a sense of humor. Okay, he could be fine, and I say fine. Not great, but fine. But trying to put so much onto him for drama is a big mistake, because he's not on that level. At least not at this point. Maybe he would get better, but he wasn't ready for it. He was not. It just comes off as not the worst. No, far from the worst. But just, yeah, he's trying, man. But he's trying. I'll give credit, but yeah, he's just not really the guy you pick for dramas. He's not the first, second, or third choice for dramatic roles. I guess if you're a diehard fan and you want to see Jerry Daniels attempt a bit of that, but to me, that's no. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm glad you got your acting school out of the way. It did not make for an entertaining movie. Or what the hell? I guess it was that. What the hell is supposed to be this movie? Because it's not meant to be entertaining. I mean, if you go to an outhouse and get shat on in the face, you get more entertainment than this. You put your balls in a noose and hang them upside down, a BDSM fantasy football pit where someone take footballs and throw it between your legs, and they keep hitting your balls each time your balls are so big and blue they think there's a field goal and they kick through it. Except then it bounces off and kicks you in the face. Because I feel like I kicked in the face. You big disgrace. Pissing on this movie all over the place. And there's people you recognize. Maid Foster is on the parole board. She's in like one scene. Maid Foster from They Live, Leviathan, others. R.E. Gross, the star of films like House 2, The Second Story. He appears a couple times as a doctor who gives him these shots. Jeffrey Combs appears at like the end of the movie. Which he's actually one of the better parts, but he only appears like near the end of the film. Tony Cox, the little guy from Bad Santa, he had a bit role in Friday, trying to tap Bernie Mac. He has a bit part in this, get a massage with Jerry Daniels. And then a guy who's another bounty hunter is Willard Pugh. He's a guy trying to run for mayor in RoboCop 2. Said that thing is crazy, you know. Well, it's the black guy in RoboCop 2 tried to run for mayor. Okay, he's in here. So I guess that's the interesting. Oh wow, I recognize that person. Who do you recognize? I know I've talked for 10 minutes. I haven't talked about the story. Apparently, because he tells the story later during a dinner table. He says it happened to his uncle, but he doesn't want to say himself because he doesn't want them to know. He went into a store, and the store got robbed. He got blamed for a crime he didn't commit. He went to jail. It was for a 1 year term, and apparently because he couldn't handle it, he escaped, got caught, and he gets caught at the very beginning of the film, put in the cryo, and then by the time he gets out, now his daughter is like in her 30s, when she was in her like 10. So he had 1 year to serve, and you're thinking, well, why did he escape? He must have been tortured. His family was threatened. He thought his family was going to die. No. He escaped because I shouldn't be here. You know, criminals should be here. I'm like, yeah, I know it sucks, but it's 1 year. You tell me you escaped 1 year, and now you got 20 years, and then you keep escaping, and then you keep losing everything? And so you're so stupid. You made yourself get caught so many times as well. Like, one point, why are you hanging out in a damn massage parlor with Tony Cox, getting your back, when you should be on your way to see your daughter? So I didn't care about Gary Daniels. He was an idiot. He was a moron. He was a putz. Gary Daniels' kid was a putz. I'm like, well, I don't care about it. He did what he deserves. He's too stupid to live. He's too stupid to have a job. He's too stupid. His tater should die. He's too stupid to live. And also, this prison system doesn't make sense. Okay, it's trying to do like the Demolition Man, where people go into cryo prison, frozen. But here's the thing, Demolition Man, you're in cryo, then you get out, they do a little thing, and then they let you go. Why are you in a cryo prison, then you get out, then you go to a regular prison? Why? Why do the cryo bit in the first place if you just don't go into a real prison regardless? I'm going to freeze you. You think, okay, we're going to freeze them, maybe because they'll save on food, they'll save on, we don't, just, it'll save on what we need to do, bathroom, food, all that stuff. You're frozen, so we don't save a lot of money on that. Or something like to that effect. No, we're going to freeze you for 20 years, then we're going to let you go, but you don't just go into a prison anyway and hang out. Then it's like, why don't you just wait until they get to the prison term? Or just stick them in there and just, okay, like a regular prison. If it's to punish them, stick them out in a regular prison. Like, why freeze them, but then put them in a real prison? It's counterintuitive. Do one or the other. Both doesn't make sense. Maybe you could explain to me. I don't know. And then this guy, like, the fact he keeps getting caught all the time. Sometimes in stupid ways. I also like the fact that he says, like, what's a hobby you want? And he says he wants to sew. Kind of like Sylvester Stallone, when they made him sew in Demolition Man. Why don't you just go watch Demolition Man instead? So we freeze them just to put them in a real prison. So he does escape. Like, he sews himself a uniform, including the patches. I don't remember how he got the patches. He literally sews himself a uniform and puts it on, and the guard comes and goes, "Who are you? How'd you get in here?" Oh, I'm like, he was able to sew a whole uniform, including the patches and stuff, to fool a guard to walk out of prison? So he's that capable and smart, but he's getting himself caught. I'm like, how the hell did... Then he escapes, and he goes see a priest, and he sees a priest, I guess I don't know if he stole his clothes or something else happened, but it doesn't matter because he did capture it anyway. It was funny, there's a bit where Dwayne Whitaker, which I recognize, he was the boss of the bar in that film Feast from the 2000s, which I thought was a fun monster movie. He was in films like From Dusk Till Dawn 2, among others. Dwayne Whitaker. He calls Gary Daniels an idiot. You know, you only had 1 year. Why'd you do it? You moron. I'm like, he's right. And you're waiting for Gary Daniels to answer, and he doesn't answer. I'd rather you find out because he got a hologram. I don't remember how he got a hologram, but he got a hologram. Fooled Dwayne Whitaker, and the guy tries to escape. Or he does escape. I'm like, yep, good way to also steep those questions, which are valid questions. But then, okay, he wants to go see his daughter, right? Why does he stop to get a massage at a parlor with Tony Cox? Do you imagine if Harrison Ford stopped in the middle of The Fugitive to go to a strip club? Or something? I'm a wanted man, and I want to go see my daughter, who, 20-year difference now, when I first saw her. Let me stop and get a massage. Again. I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't make any sense. It sucks. Movie sucks. Well, I'm not young because I don't want to kill my voice. Just do damn hard for this shit. So lo and behold, there's a bounty hunter, like I said, Willard Pugh from World Cop 2. They get into a fight, which is not much of a fight. He just caught again. He just put in cryo again. When he wakes up, now his daughter's like 72 years old. And I said, Gary Daniels, I'm sorry, dude. Like, you're acting. You went up to the challenge. When they put him in this cafeteria and people are around him, oh yeah, we heard of you. And he's like, if you want a hero, get the Superman. You know, read a Superman comic. That is not great. So he tries to escape yet again with 4 other people. One of them I recognize, he was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. He was not Viggo Mortensen, but the other guy. I forget the character's name. Well, I have the family, you have Viggo Mortensen, then you have the other guy. I forget the character's name, but he was that guy. They go one way, but they get shot, so the other 3 go this way. The one idea I found somewhat interesting was there's a hallway that's like an atmospheric glacier, meaning... Now, I don't remember why this is a thing, this hallway exists. They might have said this, but I don't remember. Maybe it's a way for people that can't escape. I don't remember. You have to close your eyes and not breathe. Because if you open your eyes will freeze. If you breathe, it'll freeze your lungs. So you have to hold your breath and run without your eyes open. So, Gary Daniels is able to do that. Second guy is not. The third guy eventually does. And there's a bad continuity shot where at one point, because of that, Gary's face looks frozen. They'll cut to the other guy, then cuts back to Gary, and his face is fine. I'm like, he had all these like crystals and stuff, cut to him, and now his face is fine. Oh, they screwed up. So they finally get that guy, and they get to the guy's like uncle or something, who's like a crime boss. Shoots the guy because the guy was actually a terrible person. And then the guy's like, you honored the deal. Here's what you need. Get out of here. I mean, yeah, so the whole thing of saving this guy was pointless because he was a creepo who hurt women and all this other stuff. So, did that was all pointless. He gets a ship. And I don't know if there's a stock footage from another movie. But it's like Gary he's doing this, flying a ship. And then you see like this little ship in the background look like something from Buck Rogers or something, like really bad. I would not be surprised if they stole that from another movie. I don't know what movie if that's the case. Because it's too cheap to have anything else. So one thing leads to another, he crashes, he gets into a jail cell, he's able to escape from that, meets his little girl, brings her into the family, he tells a story, the parents call the cops, Jeffrey Combs is there, they beat the hell out of him, he's, at one point, he's going to be, I guess, injected again. Not R.U. Gross, because it's been, quite a few years now, it's someone else. Gets rid of him, escapes, goes to see his daughter, who's dying. And Darius, you say he's trying acting, but he's just not up to the task. She dies, he runs, Jeffrey Combs warns him like 5 times. Gary's like, and he gets shot because you hear the gunshots, and it's like trying to be very deep, emotional, deep thoughts with Jack Handy, and I'm like, okay, dude, yeah, you pretend. It's pretentious at the. If you think anything else was bad about it, it's also pretentious. It's also pretentious as hell. This film sucks. The story goes nowhere. It's literally a continuous loop where this guy's such a moron and an idiot. He did escape. He sucked at getting away. He sucks at getting away. Stopping massage parlors. Trusting people willy-nilly when he's been screwed over so many times. It didn't serve the 1-year sentence like he could have. At least something like Locked Up with Sylvester Stallone. At least, okay, he escaped because this person he was close to was dying and then went to see the funeral. So then he was put into this low-key prison. But then the Donald Sutherland screwed him over and he's not going to escape. He's going to serve his sentence. But then when he finds out his love is being threatened, like, they give him valid reasons for wanting to escape. It's just so much better movie, music-wise, intensity-wise. That's a good acting performance. That's why I'm not going to be kind to Gary Daniels' acting, because I've seen good acting from action stars. It's like, for me, if I say Gary Daniels does a good job here, it'd be like insulting Sylvester Stallone in Lock Up, because that's a good job. I think Van Damme in Hell is a good job. Death Warrant, I like the film. Van Damme's working up to it for acting. But that one knew is like, it was going to be more of the action. Let's get some fight scenes. Kick up the Sandman, Much more enjoyable prison movie than this. I mean, the only prison film I think is worse is probably Alien 3, for different reasons. But yeah, I hated this film. It's the worst Gary Daniels films I've seen. There's a lack of action. There's also a very severe lack of fighting, barely any. Low production values. A waste of a cast that have nothing to do. Like Jeffrey Combs comes in, but he's only in for like 5 minutes at the end. Med Foster. I want to say Med Tilly. Med Foster's in one scene. R.U. Gross a couple scenes. Just a depressing, nihilistic, lame-ass story. Gary Daniels, I don't think he was up to the task as an actor. This movie can suck Pennywise's wet farts. Why? Because you know what? Maybe I could look at him as a clown and think it was something funny. Something to laugh at. You can't even laugh at like it was a bad movie. It's just a bad, depressing movie. Which makes it worse because you can't even laugh at it. It's a spoiler. Oh, spoiler warning, this movie sucks. See you guys later. Bye-bye.